Good evening. Welcome to the Double Dribble podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Osborne, and today we're speaking with Ethan, Jeff, Rem, and Tyler about their teams and about the status of the league. Hang tight, because there's more coming now. First, we're talking with Chalk Hard, the loser of the first two fantasy seasons, but someone who says to the league, hey, I'm more than just my past. Chalk Hard, welcome to the Double Dribble podcast.
Thanks for having me on Double Dribble, man. I've heard so many great things about it, and I'm really excited to talk about, my team and the status of the league.
Wonderful, and you're coming out hot with a 3-0 start. You were fueled by some great pickups. You took a gamble on Cooper Flagg. Let's just hear a little bit about how your team's going so far. How are you feeling so far about your players?
I'm feeling pretty good so far. There's been some swings and some misses. You brought up Cooper Flagg. He's off to a little slower start this season, along with Yegor Damon. I feel like overall I took a gamble on the youth of the league, and in some cases that's working out, some cases it isn't. But overall, I'm very happy with my team.
Grayson Allen, one of the finest poo digs of the league so far. Poo dig. Added from free agency and now is performing very well for you. How do you feel about that pickup?
Absolutely. I love Grayson Allen. I had the opportunity to actually see him play in person a couple weeks ago, and that just made me even more confident in his ability. He knows how to put the ball on the floor. He's shooting a scorching red hot, like 53% from three, I've heard, over the last 10 or so games. So he's been crucial to me maintaining this hot start.
That's wonderful. And maybe let's just finish up by talking a little bit about the curse that you placed on V. Wemby. Would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so I just, typical bloodletting ritual. Sliced my hand open and sprinkled it over a Victor Wembanyama doll. And that seemed to do the trick. He had a really bad game, and that carried for a few games. Unfortunately, he must have consulted with some kind of shaman or warlock to undo the curse. And yeah, so unfortunately it only lasted a couple games. He seems to be back to normal, but
well, might I say,
if I end up
was
playing
very
Jeff
grateful
again,
for that. Very grateful for that curse.
Of course, yeah, anytime, man.
Well, Chalk Hard, great
Always
to have you great to have you here on Double Dribble. We're grateful for what you're doing, and just talk about the turnaround that you've had season to season is truly, truly wonderful. We love to see you up top after being so down low. So again, thank you for coming out to the podcast.
Thank you. Anytime, man.
Join us now as we talk with Chauncey Billups Poker Ring, otherwise known as Remington Lowry, about his season so far and what he expects to get done later. Chauncey Billups Poker Ring. Remington Lowry, welcome to the Double Dribble podcast. How are you doing today?
Oh, just wonderful. So good to be here. No other podcast I'd rather be on.
Great, man. Happy to have you here. Wondering a little bit, if you could just walk me through your team so far. How's the season going for you? What's on your radar?
Well, my team is it's pretty much Giannis and no one else. We kind of count on Giannis scoring 70 every night, and he's been able to be pretty consistent at that. Another great player has actually been the Giddler. People were scared to draft him.
Yes.
But he's been averaging 52 points. So turns out, when you look past someone being a creep, you can get a lot of great things.
Let's talk about poo digs. Poo dig. Anyone that you've been extremely, happy about the digging for this season?
My biggest poo dig was Sam Merrill. This is kind of a homer pick just because he's a Utah State boy. He started off pretty strong, averaging high 20s, but he's kind of cooled off the past few games, not doing as much. So might have to drop him, which will be sad, but I'll probably hold on to him as long as I can.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to let him go, and that's kind of the hardest part. But, you think about the moments that you had with them, and you really try to appreciate those. So that's honorable.
Yep.
With the state of the league, what do you see? What are the trends going on with the GMs? Any drama going on? Anything to report on?
I think a big thing is everyone complaining about injuries. Like, here's the deal. We all got injuries, but you don't see me always crying about it. Sure, a lot of our best players are always out, but that's kind of just the deal with the NBA these days. So specific, people, not to name, but Dominic Preedy and Ethan Rutherford really have been complaining a little bit too much about injuries. And here's the deal. It happens to all of us. You're just starting off with it a lot, so get over it.
Wow. Insightful words, piercing words from Chauncey Billups Poker Ring today. Ram, thank you for joining us. We wish you the best of luck this season. Happy to have you here on the Double Dribble podcast.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Next, we're talking with Jay Farnsworth. Is he the villain? The hero of the league? Well, that might just depend on who you ask. Let's hear what he has to say. Hey, Jay Farnsworth. Happy to have you on the call. Welcome to the Double Dribble podcast. How you doing today?
Yo, what's up, Tim? I'm so excited to be on the Double Dribble podcast. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Jay Farnsworth, tell me a little bit about your team. Tell me about your strengths. Tell me about your weaknesses.
Well, we got one big strength on the team, and that is V. Wembanyama. 7'6", absolute giant. Looks like an alien on the court, and he just tears it up, aside from the curse from Trot Kills the other week.
Yeah, it's a good point you bring up the curse. I spoke with Trot Hard about that. I want to hear your perspective of the curse and, the effects that you felt.
Well, from my perspective, V. Wembanyama is coming off of a couple weeks of just being on a tear. He's got an average of about 70 FPTs every week, every day he plays, and I just think he's a shoo-in. I'm going to get 70, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 points every time he plays. When Trot Kills hits the curse, 27, 25, 43, especially in one of the most, arguably, most important weeks of my whole career going against Josh Giddey's revenge, which unfortunately we weren't able to pull through on that one.
Yeah, let's talk about that 600-point day you had. Describe that feeling to me.
Yeah, well, it honestly was almost a scare because as a fantasy league manager, every day I get that little piece of dopamine watching my players play and watching their icon light up every time, seeing that they're in the game playing somewhere in real life. But I get points that hit me with dopamine every time they do something.
Yeah.
But after reaching max dopamine with the 537 point day, it honestly scares me that I'll never be able to feel that rush again.
Oh my
because no matter what happens in the future, I just don't think I'll ever have a day quite like that 537, where the lowest, no one got below 40 except C. Sexton, who dropped to 24, and he's just Mr. Consistent 20s. But other than that, you got K. Knuppel dropping 57, K. Kuzma dropping 74. K. Kuzma, you mind if I get started on K. Kuzma?
Go ahead.
He is the most inconsistent player I have ever seen in this game. One night dropping 40, next night dropping 5. And then, so shockingly, he dropped a 74 on that crucial night of 537. Get this, next day, drops -6 points.
Wow.
How do you go from a 74-point game to a -6 point game the next day? With a lot of minutes, too, with 20 minutes, which is shocking. So, K. Kuzma, careful of that guy.
Your team has been well in pretty much every season. People kind of look at you as the one to beat, but also people are aspiring to, reach that status. What message do you have for the poos of the league, namely Josh Shooters, Ethan Rutherford, and other poos, Zach Meyer? What do you have to say for them?
I just want to the poos of the league, you guys got this. I found some of the most amazing gold from digging in the poo.
Who did?
And it just takes diligence. It takes keeping up with the time, seeing who's in, who's out. For example, Ethan had this guy Z Eddie out for his whole season. I managed to find this guy Jay Landale, who took his place, and he was dropping 40s for me. Now that Z Eddie's in, I'm gonna drop Jay Landale because he's no use to me anymore. You just gotta take people as they hit their stride and drop them as soon as they lose it.
Hey, thank you for joining us, Jay Farnsworth. We're happy to have you here, and hope you have a successful season. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited for the future of Double Dribble Podcast, and you got my vote.
Thank you. See you. Now we're going to get American Prep Academy Eagles in the call and have a little head-to-head segment with him and Jay Farnsworth. Okay, welcome to the Double Dribble Podcast, American Prep Academy Eagles and Jay Farnsworth. We have a special head-to-head segment right now. Head-to-head segment. We have a 2-1 Jay Farnsworth facing off against a 0-3 American Prep Academy Eagles. Guys, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
So excited to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Ethan, let's walk us through this week so far. It's been a great week for you, all things considered.
Hey, thanks, man. Well, you can really just sum up this week by looking at Jay Farnsworth's performance, 537 in a day. That's crazy. Really proud of him. That was Friday. And then just look at Saturday. You can see my team got DeAndre Ayton. He's coming back, 45 fantasy points, but 4 other players, all my other players were playing, were out. So I got 45 points for the day. But we're going to make some changes.
Well, you missed something on Saturday, Ethan.
Oh, no, Saturday. That's what I meant.
On Saturday, you unfortunately had Z Eddie on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
33.
Well, that was the other thing this week, once you get behind that much, I don't really worry about making sure I'm getting the right players in. Once the button's been pressed, adjust lineups, I just let it ride.
Earlier, before you joined, Jay Farnsworth said that your poor performance is due to a lack of effort and drive. How would you respond to that?
What?
I'd say Jeff's a little bitch, and he's had it easy. So I don't think he knows about effort and drive.
Jeff, what do you say to that?
I think it's all about effort and drive.
I'm just messing with the American Prep Academy. He didn't say that. He had nothing but love, and he's
but he's thinking it.
Oh.
I may be thinking it, but I'm not saying it.
Ethan, what can we expect to see from you throughout the rest of the season?
For the next few weeks, you can see me making use of all 3 of my acquisitions. At the beginning, it was like, all my guys are out, but they're all going to be back soon. And then a lot of them just keep coming back maybe for a game, and then they're out again. So I'm just moving on from people. Christian Braun, suck my ass. He's out till January, and he's been a bum the whole time anyway. Tried to get him in a trade with Isaiah. Thought, Isaiah loves a name. Christian Braun, big contract. Maybe he'd bite, but he didn't. So gonna drop him.
Isaiah's not biting.
It's tough. I had only one acquisition left, and I was gonna try to get Najee Marshall and Bogdanovich, but unfortunately could only get one. And it's EU picked up the other one. So.
Speaking of Yachts EU, I'd like to pick both your brains a little bit about the commissioner. Just talk about this league. How do you feel it's been ran so far in terms of punishments, in terms of deadlines? How does that feel to you?
Well, personally, I'm a little worried of the state of the league for a couple reasons. The main being our punishment. Have we even decided it yet? There was talk of it being make a dinner for people. Yeah, that's a punishment, whatever. Rem will do that if we pay him $5 on Venmo. I think true. Personally, the punishment I would love is to see a sexy calendar made with thought and effort from whoever the loser is. Therefore, we all have a little keepsake to keep for our kids and our posterity and whoever joins our team in the future.
So true, except for, just on the calendar thing, my body's so sexy and youthful it might be considered child pornography.
What?
So I don't know if I'll be eligible for that punishment. Also, I've been thinking about the punishment a lot more lately, seeing as I'm 0-3 and it looks like team out and bad. They're coming back. They're going to win this week, I think. So
Yeah, that's the downside of not choosing the punishment, because people who do become
now I'm
out
biased.
bad. You're biased. You don't want to do
I'm
certain
biased.
things.
But I will say, I think this league has had a real shit showing of punishments ever since the one good year of the cage.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even there. Didn't even get to be there. And then the year after, naming names, T-Rook, little bitch. Just absolute terrible, terrible thing he did. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah,
Just
it was
a borderline disrespectful to the league, really. And of course, last season didn't do it. So
didn't do it.
We're all hoping for some direction and for, a strong decision from our commissioner. And, we're hoping we can do what we're all planning to do and, have a good league with a good finish. We don't want any blue balls.
And
I will say, though...
I do just want to say, while talking about punishments and rewards, although the punishment for last year didn't get executed, the reward is underway. Matt and I are in cahoots. We're planning a day, and we will, don't you worry, we will figure out a time to make it happen. So don't you guys worry about that.
It's great to hear.
Nice. Cool.
Well, Ethan and Jeff, thank you for joining. Wish you all the best. Happy to have you on the Double Dribble podcast. And now bounce out.
Thank you. Me too. Oh, okay.
Bounce out.
Ethan, welcome back. Happy to have you for a little bit longer.
Thank you.
We ditched Jay Farnsworth, and now we have a little bit of time left to hear from Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan, I want to bring to your attention something that Rem said earlier in the episode. He mentioned that players like you and Dom are complaining about injuries and people being out. Wanted to hear your thought on that. What do you say to those accusations?
God bless Rem. He is so privileged to not have to deal with injuries. And, I think he's been raised like a sheltered little rich boy. And he's not used to hardship. And injuries are part of the hardship. And so, I'm used to people like him looking down on the poo like us, making it seem like it's our fault. But, we're trying our best.
As a self-proclaimed poo, you're down there.
Yes,
you're fighting.
I am in the poo. Yes.
You're fighting with Isaiah and Zach. All three of you 0-3 right now. What do you think about the current leaders of the league? You have E. Thackeray, T. Rookledge, Matt W. What message do you have for them?
Good job, guys. Really, I respect ETHAC. New to the league, glad to have him. Trock hard, obviously, despite being a bitch in his punishment the second year. He's really come back. He's been trocking hard, and I've always respected the ghost of Richard Barter, of course, our reigning champion. I've been engaged in some trade talks with him. Really respect his ability to get it done. So, gonna be looking to those guys to maybe make some trades because they have the luxury of not having to deal with injuries. Rem seems like a pretty healthy team, so I don't know why he's already lost one. Interesting.
Well, sounds like it's nothing but love from you to the winners of the league.
Yeah, man.
Besides,
I look up to him.
What can we expect in terms of lineup changes for you these next couple weeks? I heard you're trying to make some trades.
Yeah, making some trades. I'm dropping some people. I just don't have the time or the luxury to wait around for half my team to get healthy. As you've seen this week, there was a time where I had 9 people out. Can't have that. So gonna try to move away from some injury-prone people and try to make some moves. Also, at the end of the day, I'll admit it, I haven't been super invested on changing my lineups week to week. I just hit the button in autopilot because I just kind of know I'm going to lose. But this coming week, I really believe that once Jay Williams comes back, who was my 17th pick, I think he's going to light it up. Zach Edey's back, so I think this next week, I got hope.
Well, we're wishing you the best.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for joining us on the Double Dribble podcast.
Thank you. I also do want to say,
oh, yes.
I do want to say one more mean thing to Rem.
Okay.
I don't like his team's name. I liked Gremlin's Gonna Grem. I don't think he needed to change that. Chauncey Billups Poker Ring. You know, it's just, we worry about him. I think we all worry about Rem's gambling addiction. And so it just makes me nervous to see him making poker more of his personality, you know, because I just worry we'll find him in the real life poo someday in a gutter or gambled away everything. So, yeah.
Rem, we'd like to help you. Please reach out if you need us.
Yeah, man, I got some good videos on YouTube to help you out because you know what they say, if you're still on the gambling apps and they haven't kicked you off, that means you're losing. So, worried for you.
Well, thank you, Ethan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man.
Hope you have a great night, and good luck out there.
Thanks, man. You too. Thanks for having me.
Well, that's all for the first and last episode of the Double Dribble podcast. Thank you for joining us, and a special thank you to all our guests. And don't forget to keep bouncing.